Hey everyone, today we're working on one of these like iRobot or Roomba, but this one is an Eufy or something like that. But it does this. It starts out great, and then it does that. So we're going to take it apart and find out what is creating that kind of noise underneath it. It's probably something to do with the motor or the way the gearing is or something. So let's find out, okay? Okay everyone, this one looks like it's a Robovac 11S, and this is that Eufy or whatever you want to call it. So I got to figure out how to take this thing apart first. And so looks like it's held in by a lot, and I mean a lot. There's some little bump sensors here in the front. There's some directional, but something is rubbing. Chances are when I run the motor, it's not that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to take the main cover off so we can separate it so I can see what's going on. I don't know. We'll have to see how that goes. I have no idea how this thing comes apart. Looks like that's the dust collection part of it is in the back there, so I'm going to move that out of the way. Take a look inside here. And I'm going to start by taking these screws out over here. Hopefully we can remember what's going on here. That's for the battery, so we're going to disconnect the battery first. So it looks like it's just a standard Phillips, so let's take this apart. Okay. Alright. Let's get that blown out of there. And what we're going to do is we're going to disconnect the battery first. Let's see, what is that? How is this tape put in there? Oh, okay, that's a nice big one. And so looks like it's a push and pull. Well, maybe not, because that doesn't want to give. Let's see. Let's try this. Oh, there we go. There's a little clip underneath right here of the battery. Okay. So we're gonna put that aside with the two screws because I don't need that for now. As we disassemble this, and the rest of it just looks like they're just Phillips screws. So I'm gonna set that aside. Yep. And let's see if we can get this thing apart in one piece. Okay. I'm gonna start taking this thing apart, and I'll bring you back once I get all the screws out. Okay. Alright, I took the cover for the rear bush off, and there's two more screws here. Couldn't get the cover off of it, so I got all of these, the deep wells only, taken apart. And I was wondering why this won't come apart, and there's two screws under here. So let's take these out. And this is where wait a second, that little magnetizer would be great. Oh, this is the magnetizer. Okay. Yep, that works great. Whoopsie-daisy, that's my tape. Okay, never mind. There we go. Now we're closer to getting this loose. Let's figure out why it's not coming apart over here. Got that loose. Got that loose. Got that loose. That one. That one. That one. And that one. So we got those loose. There was 8 of those big ones. I got 2 more little ones here for that, and then we got to figure out why. Okay. So it should come apart now, but it's not. And I think I got to figure out a way to get this bumper off, possibly, before we can get there. So let's see. Let me look at taking the plastic off of the bumper to see if that's even necessary. Again, I don't have a schematic for this one. I looked it up, and well, I couldn't find one. So if it's out there, but I don't know where it is. Okay, so I think there's probably, most likely, the reason this sounds the way it does is because it's probably full of dirt somewhere, or something got stuck in the motor area somewhere. So we're going to take this apart, and I'm hopeful if I take this lower trim panel off that the other will come apart. Okay, that's loose there. Okay, and this is a good time to make sure that you keep good organization of your screws. Okay, and hope I don't break anything. That's always the case. You know? Okay, that's separated, and here I have a little clip here for the bumper, so I'm going to disconnect that. Hopefully, oh, fudge. Come on. Come on. Okay, let's see. I'll take the battery out, so I'm not really afraid of anything. I just let's see if I can use a spudger or something to get it taken out of here without too much hassle. Doesn't want to come out. Let's see. Okay, should be okay. Let's flip it over and take a look. Let's see if there's a connection from this side or something. Okay, wait a second. I'm almost there. Come on. Nope. But I can get to it a little bit better over here. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but right there is the connector for that circuit. And see if I can get a pair of pliers or something. Somehow grab it without damaging it. It doesn't want to come out. Oh, that doesn't want to come out. That's not good. Okay, let's see if I can get the whole thing out there. There we go. Separated the bumper, okay? That was kind of difficult. I don't know why, but this did not want to come apart. So let's see. Does this top part come off now? I don't know. There we go. Top part. And there we go. There's another piece of electronic connection right over here. I don't know. Can you see it right there? So we're going to disconnect that to get the top off. Okay, and then we do have a lot of dust buildup here, but I don't know if that's the problem. We'll set that over there, and this is probably the problem. Okay, yeah, that's probably what caused all that noise, and that toy, I'm pretty sure, is what's causing all the noise in here. But since I'm in here, I'm gonna blow it off and go from there. But pretty much, I believe these are the items that is causing it all of that noise that they were talking about. Okay, but yeah, funny. Okay, let's go back to the reassembly now, because I think that should be it. Okay, I think we found the root of all the problem. It took longer to take apart. But the reassembly is going to be the opposite of disassembly. I'm going to blow everything off, and we'll be back. Okay, I gave it a once-over blowing, so we got rid of the parts. So let's put it back together and see if it's any better, okay? So the first thing we need to do is get this cover back on. Is plug in this connector here for the control panel on top, and it should just go straight in like that. There we go. And then that goes there, and then we can flip this over. Okay, and then we can just put it back on its back, and then we can line up everything. Okay, and then we can take all these big screws and drop them in there. Right there. One right there. And one right there. And I have 4 more over here. And one right there. Okay. There we go. Come on. Come on. There we go. Okay, and then the 2 that goes in here into that receiver tray. One right there. And then the other one right here. Don't know if I need to take that out, but you know, don't want to damage something. So there we go. And we'll make sure everything's back together tight. Okay, so those are all tight. Alright, now let's get this wheel back on. So this goes into that thread square in here, and then that goes in there. And then we can get this on, the cover. And then we can get the 4 screws for that. On. Okay, let's put that front bumper guard on now. And just like with the other one, we gotta be very careful so we don't lose the screw, because the screws, you know, the screws are small and they're easy to lose, looks like. Okay, so the bumper guard, oops, which way this, yeah, this, nope, that's the cover, right? Yeah, the cover goes on first. Oops, my bad. You see how you forget? Okay, and then the bumper guard holds it in place. Okay, so we're going to put the connection for the wire right there like that and push it together like that. And we put this in place like so. And then this trim piece holds it in place so it doesn't fall off. So that's the thing, we've got to make sure that it lines up and that it actually, when it screws down, that it's actually being held in by something. So let me make sure that it's actually where it's supposed to be. And it looks like there's little hooks down here like this, and then there's a lip on the other side of it, so we want to make sure that that fits inside of that. Otherwise it's not going to be in deep enough, and then the bumper's probably not going to stay on. So let's see if we can get that yep, and then there's little switches that it has to hit. And then this is gonna be fun. This is where I got pushers and clickers and whoopsie-daisy, don't break that. There we go. There we go. Gonna make sure that that all sits together and it's connected. Okay, that looks right. Okay, I think that's right. Maybe it needs to go to the other side a little bit more. Nope. Okay, let's see. You know, this lineup thing I think is going to be the most challenging of the whole thing, because I got to line it up here, and I got to line up with that, with the there we go. There we go. Yeah, I think I got it there. Okay, so it's tight. It's in those little grooves. So now this lower retaining clip can go back on. Okay. Oopsie-daisy. Let's see if we can find the... There we go. There we go. Okay. Yep, so this has to come off to get the top off, which is sad, but Okay, we'll make sure that's tight. And then this one has to go on first because there's a little nodule, I guess. I don't know. We'll find out. Okay, so okay, let's take a look. Let's see. It looks like this one needs to go down a little bit more. Can't really tell from that other angle, so just okay. So looking, everything looks okay. Everything looks like it fit. Okay. Now let's put the battery back in, and we'll make the connection here. Okay. And then we'll lay it in there like so. Okay, let's see if we can lay it in there. good. Then we have the 2 screws. And look, everything went back together. Excellent. Alright, I'm going to put the dustpan on, and then we'll take it out there and let's test it, okay? Okay, got everything together. Let's give it a try. That sounds pretty good. I think we have success. Alright, we are done with this project. Alright. I'm going to return it back to the customer, and thank you again for subscribing, and have a great day. Thank you.